Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Oh, she's already at it. Look at her. She's insane. She's already on her crap. Hey, Tyler. Hey, LR. Nothing half-assed. Well, I'm glad I could help you with your procrastination. I'm the same way. I always do something else, find something else to do. Always get it done. Always get it done, but I always find something else to do. Hey, Melinda. Hey, Kelly. Architect. Broski. How you doing? Hey, Tanya. Ophi Cial. Oh, I hope I didn't spell that. I hope I didn't say that wrong. You got a fight with your brother? That sucks. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Jackie. Laura Lou. Hey, Chanel. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but this was an important thing. This is some unsealed information. We've been waiting on it. So I'm glad that you guys are here. Hey, Gina. Hey, Kylan. True crime nerds. Yeah. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Caroline. Colder covered. Hey. 4 a.m. The time differences is always so crazy to me. Mind over matter. Hey, George. Hey, Kayla. Did I say hi to Carly? I know I said something about can't sleep, but hello, Marie. Hey, Hitman. Hey, Grandma. Rayannette. Hey. Hurricane Train. How you doing? Crime to remember. What's up? Mark and Betty, how you doing from the UK? See, it's a whole different time zone over there, whole different everything over there. I'm excited to go through this. I haven't been able to look at anything besides like that first page that I showed you guys. Because look, I tried to schedule my weekends to where like I'm still working like full-time hours. So I will spend 8 hours a day doing research, doing things, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I spent a bunch of time this morning researching stuff, finding information, putting a video together, got almost done with it, and then noticed that this ended up like popping in the middle of these other exhibits. I mean, these other files that we already saw. So it kind of like threw my plans off because my plan was to finish the video, get it downloaded, and have it uploading and ready while I ran to town. But then knowing that this had to happen, I was like, okay, I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to go to the store now, get dinner done, and then we're going to jump on this live. Hey, Moonlight. 10:47. See, you're an hour later than me because right now it's 9:48 here in Texas. Oh, hey, Alina. Noodles. Claire Bear. Yeah, it's Saturday night, though, so I guess that's fine. A lot of people really can't sleep on the weekends. Carrie Townsend, 4:47 in the morning in Denmark. That's wild. Colorado. I'll visit there one day. My sister loves Colorado. I promised myself that I would go to Colorado one day. It's cold. That sucks. It's not too bad here. I'm excited to see what these exhibits are because we should see, as far as I've noticed, let me go ahead and just like see here. It's 14 pages. And what I can see is that it's going to be a lot of the people that they were having like email communications with, different dates for stuff for the grand jury. Like, I feel like we're going to get some interesting information and I should be able to implement some of this into the timeline. Hey, Twisted Tea. Vegas, that's another one. Honestly, you know what? I'm kind of scared. Like, I don't think I could ever go to Vegas just because it just seems like it's too busy for my brain. See, Australia, that's crazy too. Moonlit baby. We have a moonlight and then a moonlit baby. Oh, where'd it go? Right there. That's kind of cool. Y'all are like name sisters or name siblings. Yeah, I've been, this change in weather is not awesome. It really just isn't. Hey, Simply Solo. Shampoo 1966, Louisiana. I know Louisiana well. If you don't stop, little girl, she's cords. She's a cord kitty. A cord kitty and a stationary kitty. She likes to like knock my pins and my eyeliner off my desk and all crazy. Hey, fake detective Mary. Australia. Hey, Julie. Oh, thank you, Christina. Illinois. I used to work at a facility in Illinois. That's wild. No, I was born and raised in Kerrville until my parents got divorced when I was 15. Oh, that's crazy. Well, and I have family that still live there. We visit sometimes. We haven't visited since we went to go see my sister's baby. That was over the summer. Is it over the summer? been a while. We need to make a trip back. It's just really difficult to plan it whenever we have animals. Like, it's different with the dogs because we can like pay the pet fee to bring the dogs places, but I've never tried to travel with a cat. So I don't know. And then like we can't leave the there she goes. We can't leave the guinea pigs home for more than like 2 days really without, so it's just difficult. But it's what we signed up for when we got the aminals. Hey, Miss Girl. Tracy again. Gin History Fuzz. That's kind of a cool name. History Fuzz. Ember burns. Embers do burn. Yeah, I decided earlier because I was, like I said, I was doing a video that I was planning on putting out tonight, and then I saw this happen, and I was like, okay, that one's got to be put on hold, and I have to switch some stuff up. So that's what we're doing now. Small Fries in Washington. That's another place my sister and my dad visited. They went and saw a bunch of the whales. My dad hasn't like stopped talking about the whales since they saw that. Alyssa, how you doing? I swear she gets right in my internet wires and she makes me so nervous. She makes me nervous. Oh yeah? Yeah, you can send it to my email. I actually had somebody, a Rory Gray is I think the name that they go by on here. I was gonna FOIA it just so I can like compare what was said, but they were able to tell me that it was like a license plate for I think it was a black Ford F-150. Like she was able to pull up the what the code meant and everything. I was like, damn, you can find something out of nothing. Your cat steals coins. Cat burglar, legitimately. My ex-husband used to have a pet rat. An acquired taste to have a pet rat. It was like odd to me. The kids loved him. My kids loved it. Would hold him. His name was Civic because my ex-husband has a thing for Hondas. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be too bad. But I see like a little mouse and I'm like, eek! But then again, I thought I wouldn't like the guinea pigs, but now I love the crap out the guinea pigs. I'll go cut up some cucumbers or slice them up some carrots and bring them in there and give them fresh food all the time. She's okay. Whenever she was in Ariel's room with Ariel's hamster, she would just kind of stare at him. She would just kind of stare at him. She wouldn't ever try to like get to him, but they would like smell each other's noses. That's about it. She never like hissed at him or try to bat at him or do anything crazy, which was actually kind of surprising considering that she was like a, what you call it, parking lot cat that was, half dead basically when we found her, and now she's insane. Say hi to the people. She's trying to get my whipped cream out of my coffee because she's crazy. No, you must be newer here. You must be newer here. My ex is a psychopath and we fled for our basically safety in our lives about a year and 2 months ago. And I had been separated from him for about 2 years before that, but he was insane and stalked us and threatened our lives and already tried to one time and cops and all the things. Okay. So I just decided, since I thought he was going to be it for me, and it was 10 years between my 16-year-old son being born whenever I was married, whenever I was super young, 18. I got married when I shouldn't have been because I was in a situation that I shouldn't have been left in as a child, and that's story for another day. But no, I had Dawn 10 years after I had Slade with the ex that I'm no longer with now. And I really thought that he was going to be it. Like I really felt like that was going to be it. I was almost 30 at the time. I'd gone through life. We'd already dealt with stuff that happened with Ariel, all the things. And that ended up being horrible. And he tried to take my life. He tried to do that more than once. He put us through hell. And I've just decided ever since then that I'm just going to be by my damn self and obviously collect animals who try to destroy my things. Zelda! That's a stapler, bro. Let me get the stapler. But anyway, I'm by myself because I don't want to be around people. I just want to like raise my kids and do my things. Let me get the stapler from my cat and then we'll start this document. Hold on. See? Stapler. I have 3. I have an 18-year-old, I have a 16-year-old, and then my youngest is 6. And I was about halfway. I have my associates in criminal justice, criminal forensic science, and then got like halfway through my bachelor's. Ariel got sick. A lot of you guys know that story. I'm not going to repeat it again right here. This isn't the time or place. And a lot of that stuff got put on hold. And I don't know, a couple years after she got sick, I met my ex. We were together for like 7 years because our son is about to be 7. But I've been single for 2.5 years now. I just don't want to deal with it. Like sometimes I feel lonely and I'm like, damn. I don't really like having people around my life, period, because I've been burned by so many people that I've just kind of like, obviously I like come out and talk. Like, it's not like I'm antisocial. I didn't really think that I'd like being live. And I just really didn't think I'd like being live because I don't really like having like the attention on me, I guess, a lot. But I really do like talking to people. I'm not like an antisocial human hater. I just am not trusting. So I just stay to myself and do what I need to do. And my life has been a lot more peaceful since then. We've had some disruptions. Things happen, life happens, crazy stuff happen. But I don't really feel like I want to be in a relationship anytime soon because I'm not lowering my standards for anything anymore. Like I really, really, really tried to be that person that was like really super understanding when it came to my ex because he had a lot of childhood trauma that he told me about that was validated, that all the things. And I tried to not make him his trauma, I guess, because I don't want people to make me my trauma. And that's the cat. That's a pin. Are you done? Oh, here she comes. Don't attack me. Okay. I didn't want to like blame him for everything that had happened to him. So I really tried to give him like the benefit of the doubt, and I'm just not doing that anymore. Exactly. Bro. My youngest son loves that hat. Anytime I say that I'm going to go get French fries or go buy something, he literally will go grab the hat off the wall. He calls it fries before the guys hat. He's like, I love that hat. It's so funny. Fries before the guys. Ha ha ha. And he laughs. So funny. Anyways, you asked, there's the answer. But there's stuff that I want to discuss because I was married at an age I shouldn't have been. Raised in a sort of cultish like religion. There's just all kinds of crazy stuff. But I say to myself, I'm buying a house, got a good car, taking care of my kids, got animals. She might break the internet, but we're going to survive it. Work a full-time job. Homeschool. It's easier. Even though I don't have help from the fathers, my ex-husband or my youngest son's dad, it's so much easier. It's so much more peaceful. Thank you, William. Hey, buddy. But yeah, I see there's a lot of people in there like, yeah, I've been single forever. And I get those comments a lot. Like, it just seems like both sides. Because I have a guy friend that I talk to a lot. He's like the only person besides like Steve Fisher. That's like a completely professional. We only talk about like case stuff. But my buddy, I mention him a lot on here because he has like inside, contacts and stuff like that. But he's the only person I have conversations with. And I don't even talk to him every day. We talk like every now and then. But he's sort of the same that like so many of you guys are. And like I am, like we're just so fed up, with people being liars and not being honest about who they are that we're like, can we just be humans and try to like survive in life and not worry about all this crazy stuff? Yeah, I'm not lowering my standards anymore. Like, I understand that like people go through traumas, but I've been through so much trauma. And if I haven't like resorted to doing so many certain things that a lot of people would say that I would totally have so many excuses to do, then I'm not going to take that from anybody else either. You got to like grow up. You got to grow up. That's another reason why I come in here and I'm like, okay, facts, people, no misinformation. Can we be for real? Like, I'm really trying to implement that in my entire life. Publicly Buzzed. If you guys don't know that channel, y'all should go over there. Oh, there he is. There's my buddy. Oh, hold on. Hi, Christina, but you're not the one I was clicking on. There he is. Hey, Chris. Yeah, that's my buddy. We're just so tired of everybody. And we talk about the cases, and people suck. And we share stories, war stories. That's about it. Yeah. He's who I tell my stuff to, like, whenever my company makes me mad. I'm like, they did this. Da, da, da. Yeah. He hears stuff from me. Exactly. I argue enough with my children. I don't want to deal with none of that. Yeah. Okay. I did not get on here. Anyway, hold on. We're about to start, but let me go back to this. If you guys have not gone over to Publicly Buzzed, they're really cool. They have little movie nights and stuff like that called Feral Friday. They hang out with Bob from Defense Diaries. If y'all haven't checked them out, go over there and check them out. I pop in there every now and then just to like stir stuff up. They were doing a movie night thing yesterday, and I just got in there real quick and just like voted on a movie. And I'm like, have a good night, guys. Bye. Just to have fun. Welcome, Ashley's Activism. That's a cool username. Welcome. Okay. Are y'all ready? I think we're finally ready. I didn't want to get on here and talk about myself, but I got to ask the question. So let's go ahead and look at this paper. Oh, that's not going to work. Hold on a second. Nope, I don't like that either. Nope, I don't like that either. Hold on a second. I want y'all to be able to actually read this. It might help if I do it on this side too. Give me just a second so I can get this right. Can you stop? She's literally like having a toddler. She's chewing on something that's a wire. She's driving me insane. Okay, hold on. Let me get this right so you guys can actually read this while I'm saying it, because I don't want to just talk and y'all not be able to actually see what the shit I'm talking about. StreamYard is also really difficult to like get the page to do what you really want the page to do. Is this going to work for me now? Hold on. I can totally be smaller. And we can move that this way. Eek. Okay, can you guys see this? Because like we really don't need to see this side column on this side. We really just need to see this description because it gives the name for what it is. So does that look okay? I just want y'all to be able to see it. Like, I don't want to just like be talking. I want y'all to be able to actually see. You can see it? Okay. Okay. So I guess we'll do it like this. Okay. You can see it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just so I can show y'all the title real quick. And this is the notice of filing list for stipulated exhibits for motions to suppress and motion for Frank's hearing. Now, we heard Judge Hippler. Sometimes I still want to call him Judge. So I have to like catch myself. We heard Judge Hippler tell Masoth that he wanted like a complete list of all of the exhibits and stuff like that. So I don't know, honestly, if this is only the defendants. Let me make sure. Zelda? No, we have a state's objection too. Okay, I wasn't sure. She's going to be moving stuff. I might have to put her in the other room. You better calm your booty down. You're going to be getting out of her. I wasn't sure if this was going to be just the defense or the state. It looks like it is some stuff from the state as well. If she doesn't stop, I'm going to have to get her out of here. Hold on, let me see what she's actually like attacking. Hold on a second. I don't trust her, but we're going to try again. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and read these because we're going to see the names of people, what it is, if it's an email, if it's an instant communication, if it's an interview, if it's an affidavit. We're going to see all of those things. All of those things. Yeah, I have to. She jumps up here and I just have to like, it's almost like instinctual at this point because she's just always jumping on me. Always jumping on me, no matter what. She comes up from this way. She comes up from this way. She'll come up from like, if I'm like a little bit farther back from the desk and there's space and she's under here, I see her eyes. You know, the cat eyes. And I know she's coming for me. And she jumps up here and then she rubs her face into my mouth basically and up my nose because she's obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Okay. Let's start going over the list. I am not going to read this part that says Defendant's Exhibit D1 or this part that talks about how it's in support of the Franks hearing or the Franks whatever up until we get to where it switches to being the state's objection stuff. Then I'll say, hey, this is where we're switching off. But until then, we're going to go based off strictly these. She's in the trash can. She's like a 2-year-old. She is like a 2-year-old. You know what? There's nothing in there that's going to hurt you. Have fun with that paper. Anyway, if y'all start hearing the trash can noise, let me know though in the chat and I will have to pick it all up, which is fine. She's not going to cry. So don't put up with noise just because you don't want to hurt the cat's feelings. Let me know if y'all can hear her digging in there. Okay. So this first one is the email communications between Detective Payne, FBI Agent Balance, and Latell County Prosecutor's Office. Instantly, we have a typo. We instantly have a misspelled name. Of course we do. Now, this doesn't say who they're contacting. There's multiple people. There's multiple people at the prosecutor's office. So I wish there was a name. Okay. Email with additional PC attachment from FBI agent Nicholas Balance to Brett Payne. Probable cause attachment. An email with an additional probable cause attachment from Balance. Email with working draft for search warrant for AT&T from Brett Payne to the FBI agent Nicholas Balance. So it wasn't sent. It was just a draft for the search warrant. I mean, that makes sense too, because we did hear that basically all they did was take what the feds told them to do and run with it without asking questions. Moonvale gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. That is very sweet. So then we have Exhibit A, which is the statement of Dustin Blaker, affidavit presented to a judge in Washington. That's Blaker's PCA, the one that we've talked about being attached to Don Daniels' information whenever they did the search warrant for his apartment. And now we have affidavit for search warrant for Google 1-323, the affidavit in support of arrest, like just the regular schmegular one. But wouldn't there be a name of whether it was Payne's or Blaker's? I don't know. So now we have a transcript from the motion to compel. I already know Heather is probably already on this. She's probably gone in and found the times that stuff was said in the motion to compel hearings, if they were the public ones, because I can't remember off the top of my head without actually looking. But she's probably already gone in and pulled information to find out what this was because she's so fast at that. Shampoo gifted a membership. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So then we have another one from the same motion to compel, but it's a different date. It's a week different, and it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll be having to go back and check on that for sure. But I'm sure Heather's already doing it. I'm telling you right now, I feel it in my bones that Heather's already doing it. Cast report, that's a draft, and then the cast report. Now, I find that sort of interesting. Oh, now she's nice and quiet. Hello. So I found that interesting because she said, and Taylor said something about that the cast report is basically a PowerPoint presentation. I didn't know that that's what that was. Oh, I don't know, Miranda. I don't know. This was a conversation that was had the last time. I have no idea. Because honestly, even before I was a creator, oh, hide it. Okay. Even before I was a creator, I could not go in to the settings and turn on the memberships. Like for some reason, I don't have it. I didn't have it on any of my YouTube accounts that I ever had. I never had that option. So I don't know. But if somebody could maybe help her with that, I'm not really quite sure because I could never get it to work. Okay, so affidavit of Tom Slovinsky. Anybody know who that is? Let me see if I can find. Okay, So it looks like he is a cellular forensics guy. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm finding an obituary, but I'm pretty positive that that's not him. This might be the guy. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. And then, of course, Cyray's affidavit and Officer Nunez's transcript and summary, probably from his body camera, his body cams. Detective Mowry's transcript and summary, what you said in there. I just find it so funny that we have one in here. There he is right here. Okay. So he's just like for Cyray. Okay. Then we have Detective. See, the way that word is being said in my head is the word that like a bunch of stupid boys always said in high school and laughed because they thought it was funny. So I really don't feel like saying that word out loud because I don't know if YouTube has that as a red alert word. So this detective's transcript and summary, but I don't know who this is. I guess somebody that works for the MPD. Like I'd have to go in, like I don't want to just like pop up people's faces that I'm looking up on Google without knowing for sure. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not saying that name. I'm not saying that name. Okay. Emails with the vehicle identification expert. Affidavit in support of search warrant for UPS. That UPS one is so weird. Okay, so he is a photographer. This one is a photographer? Oh. Right. What an unfortunate last name. I would change it. That's crazy. Okay, well, I'll have to look into that. I want whoever I haven't heard of before, I'm gonna end up going back in and like digging up the information just so that we can figure out who they are after the fact. So then we have yeah, the UPS one was weird to me because it was looking for like something that was getting delivered, it sounded like, because it was wanting like, oh, he's not a photographer. So it's not the same guy. Oh, so he is the geolocation expert. I mean, that makes more sense that he's a geolocation expert. It really does. It really does. But the UPS one, again, it was weird because they were looking for like certain dates where something was like getting delivered in like the Moscow area. But I think the way that we ended up getting the information was that the like place where all the cars and the UPS trucks were stored was in Pullman. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. It's been a long time since we went over that UPS warrant. I just always thought that it was really strange. Welcome, Christina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh, those are so cute. You know what those little Shih Tzus remind me of? Is that the dog from Ace Ventura that gets kidnapped in the very beginning and he has to go run and save it? Isn't that a little Shih Tzu? For some reason, I could be wrong. I'm not good with dog breeds. Unless it's a border collie, then I'm not good with dog breeds. But for some reason, the little Shih Tzus always remind me of Ace Ventura. Are you really about to just try to fall asleep on my back? What is you doing? Okay, I guess this is where she's gonna sit. What are you doing? I mean, what if I want to sit back? I'm gonna squish you. Laces out. Yeah. Okay. What are you doing? No, I don't want to squish you. I don't want to squish you. I don't want to squish you. Okay, here you go. Lay down right there. She always distracts me and I have no idea what I'm saying. Oh, yes. The Shih Tzu and Ace Ventura. And then the UPS warrant. It's been a while, but I always found that one odd. Payne's instant messaging communications, but between who and who? Like him and who else is what I want to know. It's kind of blank. Then we have the Bolo, which would have been like the only one that we got really told about, right? Supplemental report 52 by Brett Payne regarding the test runs. Is that like the driving between his house, like his apartment and the house, or the phone stuff? Sealed transcript of grand jury hearing on 5/15 of 23. And then the next day was the 5/16 of 23. I didn't realize they went 2 days. Wait, no, I think we did know that. There's been so much information in this case. Supplemental report 152 by Officer Gunderson regarding the dog. Like Murphy, actually? Screen clip from Officer Nunez's body cam video of the dog upon arrival. Because remember, that information is wacky as shit. I don't understand how we're supposed to be being told that Maddie's room, where her and Kaylee were, was a completely disgustingly bloody scene. That Xana's room, where her and Ethan were found, was a completely disgusting scene. And then all the doors were open. But that doesn't go with what we've heard from Christy about Ethan being behind Xana's door. So the door was unable to be opened and Hunter Johnson being called over. Like, we have proof that there were people called over to the house. It was one of the very first things that the police told us, that friends were summoned over, that the crime scene had people all over it. Like, we know this to be factual. We just did a video about this morning. It released showing that there's a little like 6-second clip from the people that lived in the area of the friends sitting down next to like the trash together, like a bunch of them. And according to the 2 girls that are apparently talking in the video, who sent that chick who put it out there, the information, the person sitting in the pink hoodie is Hunter Chapin, not Johnson, but Chapin. So both Hunters were actually called to the scene, which is still insane to me, considering the fact that we have Stacy Chapin saying something about how dark the 2:00 hour will always be. And to me, that's like, you got a phone call at 2:00 in the morning about something. But you know what else I found earlier today? Because I was going through a bunch of Sleuthy Goosey's old tweets and stuff. She actually has the clip where Olivia is stating that the girls, actually, you know what? She doesn't actually say the girls walk outside the house with Murphy to take him to the bathroom. Olivia says they let the dog out to go potty. And to me, you don't have a fence. You're not about to let your dog run around. Why the shit would you let that kind of dog just run around, especially if you're just visiting? You're not back at your house where you've been staying with your parents for the past few weeks. The dog hasn't been there in a while. Why would you just let the dog out to go potty? To me, you're putting him on a leash and you're taking him outside, right? Because there's no fence. But it was found, and I couldn't find it for forever. And Sleuthy Goosey damn sure had it, and it's Olivia. And she says they let their dogs out. They let their dog out to go potty, and I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. We've been trying to find that. But that's not. That's what I thought, because it looks like that they have the dog with them by the dumpster. But then the way that we were being told in court is that the dog was in Kaylee's room with the door wide ass open. And I'm thinking, okay, so you're on the same floor where your owner has been. Okay, there's blood and stuff that the body releases ×2 in that bedroom, and that dog doesn't go straight for it. And a lot of people are like, okay, but what if the dog was in the cage thing? That was in the car still. The crate, whatever it was, that was still in the car. Like, she really just used it to transport him and must have just left it in there. But that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you've got all of that body stuff happening, and the owner of the dog is in there, and the dog is spotless, just in Kaylee's room. Yeah, then we have the door situation too. So many inconsistencies for things that don't need to be inconsistent, for things that don't need to be kept secret. It's just so stupid. We need information on that. Warrants, or return on warrant, but it doesn't say on what warrant. It just says return on warrant. Extremely vague. AT&T records provided pursuant to search warrant. Cellbrite report. Department of Justice interim policy. Letter from Latell County prosecuting. What the shit is this? Prosecuting? I know damn well whenever they misspell a freaking word that little red squiggly line shows up. And all you got to do is left click that damn thing or right click it and it'll fix the word for you. I don't understand. Okay. Letter from Latah County prosecuting attorney dated 6/24/24 to Othram regarding databases searched. I'm sorry, 6/24/24? 6/24/24. You're asking that far down the line about what Othram did? How? That is the laziest prosecution team, I think, that I have ever heard of. Insane. Transcript from the motion to compel hearing on 5/30. The shoe print outside of Dylan Mortenson's room. Well, see, now that they have it labeled like that, that bothers me because Ann Taylor made it sound as if it wasn't outside of the door, but like literally right in the threshold. That's how she made it sound. But I guess they're sticking with outside the door because of the way that it is in the PCA. Transcript of audio. This is an audio file as far as I understand. Audio file for Mortenson's interview on 12/30 of 22. They interviewed her again the day that they arrested him? That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if it was just on the phone. And that's why it's just an audio file. Okay. Order on defendants' 4th and 5th motions to compel discovery, unredacted. 3 different lab reports, but just the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th lab report. So what about the first 27? Sealed letters between Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's Office and the feds. Another sealed letter dated 11/28/23 from FBI to Latah County Prosecuting Attorney. But there's more than one, and there's more than one FBI agent. So why are they not putting names in this? Unless they were asked not to. Maybe they were asked not to. Wow. That's not the same name that I just looked up, is it? No, that was Slavinsky. I can pronounce that one. Bro, if this is supposed to be Slavinsky and they literally like fat-handed the whole thing, I am gonna laugh. Let me like search this. If it comes up with something crazy. No, wow, look at this. The literal only thing that pops up is the document that I'm looking at now. Like I literally searched it and this is what it's popping up. So this is the only place that this guy's name is ever even been ever on the internet of ever. Are you seeing this? So they really just like misspelt that guy's entire name. It just freaking stopped sharing. Hold on. That's the only thing I can think of because that name is nowhere else. So that's crazy. They misspelled this guy's. No, it's not though. But it's not. It's a typo. They literally fat fingered his entire name because it's not here. This document is the only place that this spelling is together on the entire internet. So that's proof that they misspelt that Slavinsky guy's complete name. Wild. And this is like their credentials or whatever. And then other cases that Cyray has worked. And for those of you who don't know, this case right here where Cyray is working for the defense is the first time that he's ever worked for the defense. Cyray has dedicated his entire career to putting away the bad guy. And not only is he working for the defense for the first time freaking ever, he's doing it pro bono. Pro bono. My son says it all the time. He's really tall. He's been taller than me for like the past 4 years and he's only 16. He's built like a manly man. So every single time he tries to text anything, he's like, oh, it fat fingered. There's so many typos. So many typos. Okay. Messaging with pain. I feel like there's supposed to be another S there. But it doesn't say with who. Just like the other one was just like his instant messages. See, Payne's IM communications. Just like in general, are you trying to, do you have all of his stuff, like even whenever he's talking to his mama? Like, I don't understand. Ooh, lab report from 12723 from the FBI for hair fibers that found no connection. I wonder if one of these is the dog hair, because remember we did have apparently a dog hair found in Bryan Kohberger's apartment, but apparently it was not even, it wasn't anything related to Murphy. And they can test breed, from what I understand. They can test breed by hair, at least pretty close to it. Then we have another one from a month later on 2/28/23. Again, the feds doing work on fiber or hair, and again, no connection. Biology analysis notes from photos that were negative blood. And I wonder if that's the stuff for Bryan Kohberger's apartment, because there were a couple of things that were taken in that tested negative for blood, but they were still like taken in as evidence before that because they looked like blood. Remember the pizza cutter? They got a whole pizza cutter. Somebody made a big comment about that. Like they could go and DNA test the freaking pizza cutter, but they couldn't DNA test the blood on a handrail in the stairs of the actual crime scene. Like, talk about not knowing how to actually get your priorities straight. DNA from 12323. I want to know what this is. What do you mean DNA from 12323? Yeah. No connection is in here like a lot. ISP forensics. Interview with Dylan Mortensen from 11/17 of 22. I better see one in here from 11/13 of 22. I better. Interview with Dylan Mortensen from 12/1 of 22. FBI Special Agent Heil? Is that E right there? But then again, could be a typo. Report regarding video surveillance, but from where? Video surveillance from where? Screenshot from Mitch Nunez's body camera on 11/13/22 at 12:04:55. So literally within like 4 minutes of them getting there. ISP Forensic Biology Report 33, dated 5/23 of 23. Oh, and we're actually getting to the state stuff. So all the stuff up until ISP Forensics has been the defendant's memorandum in support of a Franks hearing. And now we're going off of the state's objection to the defendant's admitted motion for Franks hearing. But I'm wondering if this means that these are the state's exhibits. Or is this what they are attaching to their responses to the state's objection? That legal stuff is really confusing to me. Yeah, I mean, we've known forever that there was body camera of them getting to the scene. What we apparently don't have any camera for is the arrest. So there's that. That's what they're claiming anyway. But then we hear Payne talk about how he basically witnessed everything on a screen while they were driving to the command center, and he watched it all. It was live drone footage. Like, okay, go off. Okay, so this one is again the defendant's memo in support. See, these are going to go back and forth. Okay, so this is an email between Gamet and Mooney regarding the contact for FBI genealogy. Look, I'm going to like make sure that I'm not stupid. I knew it. Like, is that something different? Is that another subsection? Could it possibly be another subsection of whatever genealogy is? No, just another big old freaking typo. How can they expect anybody to take them seriously? Wild. Arizona versus Mitchum opinion from the Court of Appeals. That's the reply to state's objection regarding the IGG. Sealed letters between Latell County Prosecuting Attorney's Office and the feds. Jeez, that was probably loud in the microphone. Sorry, guys. Department of Justice interim policy. Didn't they have that on here already? So they have it attached twice? For what? Okay. Colorado versus Phillips. Order denying motion to suppress familial DNA. Again, Are they ever gonna spell something right? Oh my god! Are y'all counting all the typos? Anybody have a number yet? Absolutely pathetic. Idaho, this is your taxpayer dollars at work, baby. You should probably do something because this is stupid. Now we have warrants. No, return of warrant receipt and inventory in order. For what, though? AT&T. Okay, AT&T first warrant. Maybe I can make this a little bit smaller now. Affidavit for search warrant regarding AT&T first warrant, and then search warrant regarding AT&T first warrant dated 12/23/22. Why is there so much blankness here? I don't understand. Okay. Return of search warrant, affidavit, receipt, and inventory order. And this one is for the pin, trap, and trace. And then 12/23/22, trap and trace warrant 509-592. Oh, that's his phone number. 8458 from balance for the pin, trap, and trace. Exhibit C, AT&T form with the warrant. Affidavit for search warrant and application for an order for a pin register or a trap and trace device. Search warrant and order for a pin register or a trap and trace device and non-disclosure order. So when they sent this off, they also attached the gag order? Is that what that is? Interesting. Search warrant for 119 Lambsden, which again, I showed you guys the other day. I'll just pop this on here real quick. We're going to go, like, I have all of these, and y'all should have seen most of these by now. But this is the page where all of the search warrant stuff is being held for the Pennsylvania stuff. We're going to end up going through them again. Arrest warrant and affidavit for arrest warrant for 12/29/22. Then Pennsylvania State Police report, the initial narrative. Pennsylvania State Police report, general offense report. Pennsylvania State Police report, general offense report, PSP special emergency response team event log. Oh, just between the two of them? Okay. So it's different. Okay. It's different. This is crazy though. The special emergency response team. I mean, it's literally like they caught him like in the middle of creating something to hurt people. That the way that they're acting about it, whenever they could have taken him at any point, it seems, whenever he was off jogging. Application for search warrant. Letter to Detective Payne from Pennsylvania State Police Sergeant Michael Lang. Pennsylvania State Police report, general offense report regarding custody of Bryan Kohberger. Affidavit for search warrant and Bryan Kohberger's person. Search warrant dated 1/5/23 regarding Bryan Kohberger's person. That would be once he got back from Pennsylvania, once he got back to Idaho. Application for search warrant, motion and order to unseal. I'm so glad I took my blood pressure pill. What is happening? What are they using? What are they using to where the little squiggly line doesn't pop up? What are they using? I don't understand. Motion to transfer custody of items, motions and orders to seal, search warrant returns. Redacted search warrant for residents in Washington. Why is it redacted? I don't remember the one that we went through being redacted. I mean, other than like DM and BF. I don't remember the other parts being redacted. Amended statement by Don Daniels, WSU Police regarding search of residents. I hope you get on the stand, Don Daniels. She's going to tear you apart. Affidavit for search warrant and search warrant dated 1/9/23. Motion to suppress for the cell phone and USB file. Yeah, that one was an interesting thing. Because remember whenever they were talking about how did the USB or like the actual device, the 2 terabyte device that they had Bryan's phone information on, how did it get back physically to Moscow? And they kept acting like they didn't know. And then Masoth was like, oh, well, obviously Payne brought it back with him because we found out then that Payne was, doing all the driving, all the things that he told us. And his eyebrows like went up and down like, what? Like, so I don't know if that's really true or not. Or if they brought it back whenever they like flew Bryan back a few days later. So it could have happened whenever Payne went back himself, or it could have happened whenever they transferred and did the extradition. I guess it could have gone either way. But regardless, he was like, don't bring me into this. Almost like it's not true. But it's not like they're making it clear, which again, why? Why can we not know how the terabyte device that has his information from the forensic download of his phone, why are we not allowed to know just the simple fact of how it got back to Idaho? Stuff like that they're keeping quiet. That makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. So now we have the April preservation letter dated 12/21 of 22. This is so important and so crazy to me because we found out from Payne that Moscow police did not know that there was any Apple devices whatsoever involved with Bryan Kohberger until the breach into 119 when they saw an iPad in the common area. And it wasn't until they got into the car and found an old receipt from 2018 for an iPad. So that's two different iPad situations, but he's claiming that they had no clue whatsoever until that day. So then why are you sending a preservation letter after you've got the IGG information, the feds, after the feds have the IGG information? How and why are you sending a preservation letter if the arresting agency is saying that they had no clue about Apple devices until a week later, 10 days later? 10 days later? That makes no sense to me. They're going to have to explain that for real. Apple subpoena certification from 1/12 of 23. Apple email. Is this supposed to say chain? Like CHAIN? Or is this a last name? Hey, Danny. Hey, Moonvale. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Allie. I don't know if I missed anybody else. Hey, Sucrins. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Celtic Spike. For real. They need Grammarly. That's what I just don't understand. Like, what are they using? What could they possibly be using? But I'm wondering if this is chain, CHAIN, or if this is a last name. That's I figure it's email chain. Days worth of it, 6 days worth of it, apparently, from 4/7 to 4/13. But again, like way afterwards. And this is grand jury stuff. This part right here, is it up here too? No. All this stuff right here is stuff that was for the grand jury, but that doesn't make sense either because we also have some stuff dated in August. Is this a search warrant dated August of 2025? What? Hold on. Why do we have an August 2026, an August 2027? What the hell is this? Oh my gosh, they did something stupid. They have something in their thing that's making the numbers go up one every time they add it. Look, August 1st, 23, August 1st, 24, August 1st, 25, August 1st, 26, August 1st, 20. We're in the future now, bro. We are in the future in the Bryan Kohberger case. We are in the future. Call Doc Brown. This is stupid. Oh God. Like, I understand that, like, there's whatever going on in the budgets and stuff, but there's free tools that can fix these problems. This is stupid. How is the judge going to take this seriously with so many typos? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Apple affidavit for search warrant and search warrant from 8/1 of 23. The affidavit return of search warrant and receipt and inventory from 8/9 of 23. Affidavit for search warrant regarding the Apple dated 8/1/23, including Exhibit A. A statement from an officer in Exhibit B, which is a receipt for an iPad Pro dated 1/5 of 18. So that's a long time ago, but at least now we have a what you call it, January 5th. January 5th of 2018 is whenever that was purchased. That's such a long time ago. I guess there is a way that the one in the living room was the same iPad. But then again, it was around Christmas time. And so some people are like thinking maybe it was like a brand new one that was just in there for, for Christmas or whatever. So I don't know. You know what? I've really wondered this. Kimberly said, in my educated opinion, Murphy was drugged via the empty applesauce container in Kaylee's trash that wasn't even tested. I honestly, look, I have a he did it theory, but only for like how he could have physically done it in the house quietly and as quickly. But it has to do with him being on like Dexter levels. But then you take into the fact that none of his information puts him at the location, and you can't even have that theory. That's why I've never talked about it. But in the very beginning, that situation is something that I severely thought about. I severely wondered if all the people that were attacked were injected with something that made them not as loud, be able to move around, some sort of maybe something that paralyzes you. I really, really wondered that from the very beginning. So anytime anybody brings that up, I'm like, damn, like I really do think about that sometimes, at least before, but that's not my theory. I really do believe there was multiple people. Multiple people. He was barking and then it abruptly stopped, which is where I am very much like, what do you mean it just abruptly stopped? Because she says he goes on for 25 to 30 minutes after that 4:17 timestamp and then abruptly stops. He doesn't start back barking again. He just abruptly stops. That's wild to me. Hey, you. I'm glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. But it's something I've thought about. But because they can't prove he was there. That touch DNA, even with that touch DNA under the knife sheath, even though I know that it's very possible that somebody as smart as Bryan could figure this out with like implements like that, with syringes, with things that are like hella quick, especially to be able to put Ethan down as quickly as this whole scenario went down. Exactly. There would be injection marks. There would most likely be stuff in toxicology. Unless there's like something that can be used that can't be tested for, which I know for a fact there's quite a few things, but that just doesn't make any sense to me because there's no injection marks. They didn't find anything like that on any of the bodies. There's nothing to state that that was the case whatsoever. Well, see, they would have to have marks for a stun gun too. They would have to have marks. But when it comes to Murphy, it is really quite interesting to think that he was in that house for 8 hours, and we're supposed to believe that whenever he got there, the door was wide open and Maddie and Kaylee's door was wide open, and he didn't walk into either of the scenes. He didn't walk into any of the scenes. He didn't get into any blood. There was nothing on his body, nothing. Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. They're going to have to make that make sense. They're going to have to make that make sense because that just doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's finish this. We only have like 2 more pages, I think. There's not much left. Let's see. Okay. Order for return of warrant dated August 14th of 2023. They're getting stuff late. This is like 2 months shy of a year anniversary that they're getting more information. But then there's also like stuff about the grand jury subpoenas. But the grand jury happened in May. So why are we talking about search warrants? I mean, I know that like MPD went in and got more search warrants after the federal grand jury stuff failed. But they also had their own search warrants for AT&T and stuff before that too. I really hope that they clear all this up because there's a lot of just cluster F everywhere. Thumb drive containing information from Apple. Then we have the Amazon affidavit for search warrant dated 4/26 of 23 and the amended search warrant dated 5/8 of 23, which was right before the grand jury. But again, what are you waiting so long for? You've got this guy arrested December 30th of 2022, and you're waiting 5 months, 4 months at the end of April. You've been literally coming out and telling the whole public forever, well, at least the news has, that y'all have all this proof, because Nancy Disgrace never shuts up about the Amazon warrant, that you have got all this proof that he bought this weapon and he did this and he did that, but you didn't even search for his information until almost May. And, the federal grand jury situation failed. So maybe the Amazon warrants really don't show anything like most of us think, because, again, that federal grand jury failed. And that's why MPD had to go back in and do what they're doing. So there's that. I don't even know anymore. It's just so much stupidity. So much stupidity. Then we have the warrant return from 3/26 of 23, which makes no sense to me because didn't they just say that the warrant for Amazon was dated on 4/26 of 23? How the hell do you have a return a month before you filed it? I can't deal with this anymore. This is torture. This is torture. I feel like I'm grading a 5th grade's paper. This is horrible. Is it Karenish to email the defense and be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Do I need to take you back to 3rd grade? This is horrible. This is so horrible. Amended search warrant from Amazon dated 5/8/23, which they've already talked about up there. The affidavit for search warrant regarding Amazon, including Exhibit A, and it looks like it's from May 9th of 23. Then the Amazon subscription information for Bryan Kohberger, which basically is just his actual account information. Google One warrant 1/3/23. Google warrant 2 from 1/25 of 23. Google warrant 3 from 2/24. Return for Google warrant 3 from 3/14. Receipt and inventory for Google warrant 3 from 3/14. Email between Lawrence Mowry and Google from 1/4 of 23. And that's it. It doesn't say amended. This says Amazon affidavit for search warrant dated 4/26. The amended one is 5/8. So how are they getting a return for Amazon dated 3/26/23 if they didn't file the first one until 4/26 and they filed the amended one on 5/8? Because that's down here again too. They're not competent, and the only thing that will save them is the prosecution isn't either. No shit. Now, this is something me and him actually talk about a lot, is how Ann Taylor, she seems to fumble herself a lot. Like, honestly, the last 2 days that we were in, watching court, Masoth seemed like she was really she had a lot more confidence than Ann Taylor did. Masoth really, really, really did a good job when it came to how she presented stuff. She really did. I was really impressed with her. But we also know that she's dealt with Hippler before. But not enough to where she'd have that sort of like rapport with him. But you also notice that like she sits there and she just like grins the whole time. I don't know if she's on really, really good happy pills or she's really just like, we got this in the bag, just keep on talking. You know what I mean? That smile, that shit-eating grin. That's what it looks like. But that's what we talk about a lot, that like Ann Taylor, she might be a good attorney, to a point, but there's so many things that should already be done that they really can't sit here and complain about the state having stuff all screwed up whenever they're just as screwed up. Well, and see, you know what? You're right. We could literally just be being told that the doors were open whenever the cops got there and that really not be true. You know what I mean? Not like it's not true, but Murphy being there for 8 hours with the door wide open and the crime door is wide open, I highly freaking doubt. Maybe, just maybe, the barking stopped abruptly because somebody ran upstairs and shut the door so that they didn't have to hear him. Who knows anymore? I honestly don't know. I just don't get it. I want the body cam. I mean, that's the problem. It's people that the attorneys are apparently, counting on to do their job, but it's also the attorney's job to make sure that it's going out correctly. In my opinion, if they're the boss, then they should have final whatever check, quality check. So I don't know. But yeah, Danny's right. Just because that's the way that the cop showed up with the doors open doesn't technically mean that that's where it, whatever. But I still don't know if that's how that happened either, because the way that, well, look, all we know is the everywhere stuff. Hey, Chief, the only thing that we've been told is a bunch of nothing, honestly, because both stories are like the 911 call was only for Xana and Ethan, that the two girls being, whatever upstairs was like a afterthought after the police actually got there. And then they realized what was going on because according to the rumors, they weren't aware they were popping up on any sort of homicide, much less a quadruple. They didn't know that it was going to be anything like that was requiring anything other than, an ambulance dealing with an unconscious person until after they got there and finally got some words out of people's faces from how it was said. So I don't know. It's wild. But I don't really see too much when it comes to these warrants. It looks like it's a bunch of stuff that we've talked about already and gone through, at least the ones that, we have public access to, because there are some in here that are mentioned when it comes to the federal stuff. I mean, you can say that, and I don't disagree with you, but she's also trying to get a cop shooter off the exact same way that she's trying to get Bryan off with the silent thing and all the other stuff. And I'm like, bro, you're literally taking away all the integrity from the case that you're working with Bryan by doing it on somebody that obviously does not deserve the exact same treatment. And I understand that she's a defense attorney, but behaviors matter. And the second that she started doing stuff the same way with the guy that escaped prison and shot at the cop or whatever, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You're taking away all the like specialness and taking away, his name is Skylar something or other. We did a video about it. But she's basically treating him the exact same way. Like she's doing the whole standing silent thing, not letting him talk. But instead of Bryan, instead of doing what he's supposed to do, like Bryan is, and not talking, this idiot's like answering questions while they're on like the Zoom hearing. And I'm just like, what are you doing? This dude's an idiot. Like, why are you taking all of the hard freaking work that you're using in Bryan's case and putting it on this loser? He was already in prison for years and years and years. He's got tattoos all over his face. He's a career freaking criminal. And he got out and shot at a cop. I don't exactly remember. I don't think the cop died. I could be wrong. He could have died. I don't remember exactly. But he got out of prison and he shot at a freaking cop. You're already a piece of crap. You should not be fighting the death penalty, fighting and standing silent, and doing all of the things that you're doing with Bryan with this loser over here that we damn well know is not innocent. Okay? Integrity does matter. And that's why I'm like, what are you doing? So I don't know if she's just taking moves that she knows are working in Bryan's case and trying to copycat them. But it takes away the integrity. I don't give a shit. I don't care about rights and other things, okay? You're a loser who was already in prison. You're a career criminal. You're tatted up from head to toe. You know that you're a career criminal. You escaped from prison because you want to go do bad things and you shot at a police officer. I don't have any give a shit about you. I don't. You've already been proven guilty on all the things. I don't have to care. Bryan is completely different. Completely different. But she probably should be fighting these things differently because everyone's watching. Everyone's watching. And to me, it takes away a lot. Or at least for me, it took away a lot. Not when it comes to the way that I feel about Bryan's actual innocence and what's actually happening here. But it did take away a lot about how I felt about Anne. Honestly. That's just how I feel about it. And it just is what it is. But yeah, that's the list. I think the most flabbergasting part, and I know that y'all probably don't even really care, honestly, but the most flabbergasting part for me was this. Them fat fingering that guy's name so bad that it's the only time that it's recognizable in these documents is where it's misspelled so horribly. Like, how would you even want to still work on this case when they can't even make sure that your freaking name is spelled correctly? Sad. Sad. Super sad. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't think anything slipped in. But let me show you where they put this crap. Because I have a feeling that it was here earlier whenever I was editing my video. The one that I'm working on now. And I just didn't notice it at first because they slipped it in the middle. So you see how we have the one where they reset the hearings for the motions in limine and stuff? Like, we went over this stuff. This is this one. So they slipped it in there. And that's why I didn't notice anything, because I was expecting like a 131 date. And instead this one just like got slipped in the middle. I was like, oh, you sneaky little biatches. Yeah, I guess that's it. This is actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, but there wasn't really a bunch of information. It was just titles. Just titles. But that's it. It's 11 o'clock here. That gives me time to finish editing the video that I was working on today in order for it to come out in the morning. That's probably what's going to end up happening. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. She's asleep and nice and quiet. So maybe my computers will last today. I get woken up all throughout the night. She gets up here. She knocks down my nail polish. She knocks down my stapler. She knocks down my lip gloss. Like, I'm about to just like put you in the room by yourself. I'm going to wake up and my entire income making setup is going to be on the floor. Yeah. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for you guys that showed up. Thank you for the gifted memberships and the people that joined in. Thank you so much for coming in here and looking at this list with me. But that is all of the new information. I highly doubt anything is going to pop up tomorrow because it's over the weekend. I don't think we've ever had anything show up on a Sunday. Unless it's something that slips in the middle like this one just did. But I really don't think we've ever had anything pop up on a Sunday. You want to see the kitty? Oh, she heard kitty and woke up. They want to see you real quick. Go ahead, stretch. Oh, she babies. There she is. She's like, why are you waking me up? Well, you were summoned. She's falling back asleep. Poor babies. Oh, she got cuddles. She got cuddles and go sleepies. Oh, no, she doesn't want me to let her go. Okay. I guess we're just going to close it out like this. It's all right. Yeah, she does not like the fact that I just woke her up. All right, y'all have a good night. Y'all get some good sleep. Hopefully my video will be out in the morning. Thank you so much for coming in and going over this. Again, y'all have a great night. See y'all.